Hello, my name is Henry Stratton. Tonight I'd like to talk about co-teaching, specifically co-teaching in the secondary classroom. Now, the article I found tonight is Co-Teaching at the Secondary Level, Unique Issues, Current Trends, and Suggestions for Success. It's by Lisa A. Diker and Wendy W. Morowski. Now, co-teaching in the simplest form is two teachers in the same classroom interacting with each other and interacting with the students together as they are one, just like they'd be one teacher. They're trying to help each other out and complement each other and do anything for one another that they can. There's actually 6 models of co-teaching, and this article really only focuses on one, and that is the one teach and one assist model. That's because they are more focused on a general education teacher and a special education teacher in the same classroom. And obviously there's more co-teaching models than just that. They talk about team teaching and one teach, one observe, but they think that's more geared to if there's 2 general education teachers in the same classroom instead of 1 general education and 1 special education teacher. So some of the problems they found with co-teaching are there's a lack of preparation, and that's mainly in the education of the special education teacher in their own education, such as they're certified K through 12, but they mainly only focus on elementary or early childhood, and they're not particularly prepared to deal with secondary needs in the co-teaching. So they think if that can be addressed at the university level, then they will be better prepared to help general education teachers at the secondary level. So another big problem is planning time. Now, it's not only that planning time is hard to come by, it's when they do find planning time, it's not used effectively. Mainly, the example they gave is a general education teacher comes in and just talks about his lesson plan and says, here's how it's going to go, and this is what we're going to do today, here's everything, and it's already come in, and they already have an idea of what's going to happen. The special education teachers just left filling in the blanks and trying to help out in any way that they can, and there's no collaboration. There needs to be collaboration from the very beginning of the lesson, so it can be built together to help address IEP students, to help address special needs students in any way that they can. And also sometimes there is just simply no planning time, and the special education teacher comes in 5 minutes before the lesson and just says, what can I do? And in that instance, the special education teacher turns more into a student aid than into a real help. So another big problem is class schedules. They think the traditional 7 or 8 hour day, 50-minute class is not good for co-teaching. They want bigger chunks of time, and also bigger chunks of planning time to be scheduled in for the students. They think block scheduling would be the best idea for this, and I would have to agree with them on that. So some of the strategies that they say will help ensure success in co-teaching are they need to participate in collaborative pre-service or in-service, so basically preparing very well. They need to vary instructional practices to include cooperative learning and peer tutoring. They're very big on cooperative learning and peer tutoring where some students who have strength in one thing can help a student who's weak in that area, and vice versa. They also think specifically referring to the structure of co-teaching, you need to vary co-teaching approaches to address student needs and the specific content instruction. So that also goes back to planning. You need to make sure you know what you're going to say that day, and the special education teacher knows. And also, this also refers back to planning as well. You need to share snapshots of the summaries of the students' IEPs and general education curricular goals. So the general education teacher needs to say, this is what I need to get done, and the special education teacher says, this is what I need to get done, and they come together and they find a middle ground and they're able to do it together. And obviously it takes a lot of planning time, but if that's built in from the very beginning, it can be done. Also, it talks about how you need to select your co-teacher very carefully, make sure you get along with them. You need to use active learning techniques and create common planning periods, as I said before. One of the things they talk about for the assessments is give students credit for progress on IEP goals. Now, this is something I really like and would really like to implement in my own classroom, because some students obviously can't achieve at the same level as others, so if they reach a certain point on their IEP, they get a grade for that, or they get a little extra credit boost. Also, I like the idea of making sure to vary co-teaching approaches. I know they talked about how they don't really like team teaching and one teach, one observe and the other ones, but I really like those, and I think those could be implemented in the classroom along with one teach, one assist. I think all of them should be used because the students can get stagnant and bogged down in the same thing every day, and they know what's going to happen, and I think it'd be better to switch it up on them each day. And also, the biggest one that I think can be used is have planning time, and you need to use it wisely. And that's the biggest thing I found with co-teaching. The biggest problem and the best measure if it can be successful is if teachers get together, have a planning time, and do it well. One thing I want to close with here, it says, when changes are implemented with thought, time, and planning, co-teaching can ultimately be beneficial for all students. So it's just, like it said, planning, thought, and time. And those three big things, if you're able to do those with your co-teacher and come together, student learning can be better than even if you're just doing it yourself. So thank you for listening, and have a good night.